think I put 2 sugars in my fucking coffee and now it's killing me. Oh, it's not even funny. Oh. Truly not. But more Bloodborne. I love the blood. The blood in it looks so good. Did not mean to do that. And it's such a simple thing, but your characters are getting coated in blood and it looks really good. And, oh, I'm just so stoked for that game. Like, breaking things. The level design, everything about it seems so much more interesting than a lot of the stuff that's coming out. Well, the first thing I noticed as well was the pacing. The pacing at the beginning of that beta, it's genius. It's absolutely genius. Because the guy walks for like 5 minutes before he sees anything. And you just... Oh! You've got to... What the fuck? I completely forgot. This is horrendous, man. Fucking New Game Plus nonsense. I like Red Phantoms, but not when they're bullshit Phantoms. This is gonna get real bad, this. I might as well try and at least get my shit before I get completely murdered. Am I going the right way? Yes, I am. Yeah. Oh, why did I do this? I opened that thing, didn't I? Shit. Such a terrible memory. This is quite cool, actually. There's a decent shortcut. That thing I've just been telling you that Dark Souls doesn't really do. Dark Souls 2, sorry. And it's done it, which is awesome. How heavy does this make us? Real heavy. No point having Gaus on if I've got... Not Gau. What's it called? Yaw. I can't remember the name of that ring. It's called something. I was trying to get back in the tunnel, but apparently I went the wrong way. These things drop anything from human effigies to, I think, Twinkling Titanite. Right, need to put my great arrows on. Does this kill you? No. That seems a little excessive. Is he going to take 3? Oh, he might though. I'm not going to though. But I can't roll good either. This is quite terrifying. Oh, wrong one. Like checking his pockets for shit that don't exist. But the pacing is really good in... Oh, it seems like in that moment anyway, it looks really interesting because the game's not afraid to let you soak in its ambience and its environment. And I've always felt Dark Souls 2 is a game that's almost terrified to not have you not fighting. Which might be like a double negative in a bad sentence, but I'll live with myself. I can't kill him there. I can't kill him there. Because he'll wake up that other dude. Come on, giant. I'm hearing some weird noises. This time I'm not going to get stuck up against a stupid wall with a bad camera. Or should I say bad camera manipulation by myself. Been watching some DSP recently where he was blaming the camera on a game where you control the camera, which I think the only time you can really blame that camera is when it's up against a wall and when you try and move it, it won't let you. But this game doesn't really do that too much. I've also been watching his Smash Brothers stuff, which is really fun to watch. Because he, in spite of being a beat-em-up guy, he's not very good at Smash. Which I've always looked at as kind of an easy mode fighting game. It's kind of the game where everybody can play. it's just the mind games that separate it from, you know, just being completely mindless. Because the moves are all... they carry across all the different characters. So if you can play one character, you have an understanding of playing everybody. It's just the different, you know, attacks and stuff that they do and different properties that they excel in. And I have a pretty rich history with Smash Brothers, so a lot of it is ingrained into my just reflexes, I guess you could call it. You know, stuff about when you do your up and B move, or when you do any kind of move that has recovery in the air, you can't do anything until you land. So as you're falling, you are completely at the mercy of anybody who's waiting for you. And, you know, just watching people on those online videos not understanding those kind of concepts, and pretty interesting stuff as well. Watching people not charging smash moves when they have the opportunity to do so. Not many people blocking, not many people rolling, or using the roll intelligently to get out of the range of something, and just as the opponent swings or strikes, they move into your range so you can do counters. Like, I used to love Smash Brothers. I had the very first one on the N64. I got it for my birthday, and put a lot of time in that game, loved it to bits. Then I got Melee, which I think is one of the best games ever made. Because the fun I had on that game was pretty amazing, and I'll never forget it, mainly because of how awesome it was, but also because I was doing something called my Trident, my work placement at the time. I was in secondary school. I was, was I 14? Something like that. And I did my placement at the rival school in my area as a clerical assistant in the library, which was interesting. And Smash Brothers came out on the Friday, and I was working. So, as scandalous as this is, I told my supervisor person who was in charge of me that my sister was in hospital, because my sister had a couple of kids, and she was in and out of hospital quite a lot when she was younger. So she was quite a frequent flyer to the hospital, and I just used the fact that she used to go to the hospital to get me out of my shift, so that I could go a little earlier to catch a bus. And I said my sister was in hospital, which technically she had been, but she wasn't at the time. And she was very understanding, and she let me go home a couple of hours early. And essentially I jumped on a bus. I went directly into my local town, straight up to the game shop, picked up Smash Bros. Melee, day of release, and then went home and just absolutely destroyed it. And I remember my first ever feeling playing the game, because it blew me away so much, and my eyes hurt. And I couldn't understand why. And it was because of how fast it was. It was, I'm not too sure what the frame rate was on that game, but I think it might have been 60. I could be wrong. I know that the original's like 10. It was like slow motion shit. But it was so fast, my eyes couldn't handle it. And they were watering, they felt like they'd been abused. It was really crazy. I don't really want to go down there. But I know where we are now. It makes a little bit more sense. Oh, hello. And it was just one of those amazing gaming experiences that I may never have again. I need to be careful with this guy, because he can kill me very quickly. But also I can kill him quite quickly too. And it's just... there's something about that era of gaming for me, where games were so much more special than they are now. And it makes no sense, because the games are more powerful now, they're more ambitious now, there's more money to them now, but they just don't seem to match that level of fun that they had before. And I don't want to sound like one of those people who are kind of stuck with nostalgia, because I've never been a big fan of that. That's not going to work. But they were really, really fun, and they were fun days playing them, because there was no cares, there was no responsibilities. But I used to play everybody in that game, and I had a couple of people that I played just to annoy my friends, namely Dr. Mario and Jigglypuff, which If you've ever played against those characters, they can be a nightmare in some responses. Dr. Mario, my go-to hilarity moves were usually the cape on players that didn't know what the cape did. Or just the people who forgot. So instead of, you know, doing the ledge whoring that you see a lot of people do, I would jump out to them as they were getting back on. I think he spotted me. So as they're making their way back on the platform, before they use their special up and B move to get back on, I would meet them, you know, halfway, and as they went to do the move to recover, I would effectively turn them round with the cape. Oh, for instance, I'm gonna die. A motherfucker hit me, even, like, just passively. Like, if anybody had a projectile, you know, like a really good one, like the what is it, bomb thing? Bombs? I can't remember the fucking name. Those bombs that killed dudes real hard from, I think, like a Mario game. And you get those people who do the whole jump above you and throw it down, or jump, try and get you to jump to throw it up. And you could still reflect stuff like that, you just had to be at a certain position, so if your spacing was right, you could do it. I just used to have a lot of fun with the cape, and I loved his forward and air move, which if you never did it, it took a little bit of spacing, because he pulls his fist back and then he hits with a massive aerial smash attack, which is one of the best moves for knocking people a long distance. But a lot of people seem to ignore it because it can be quite difficult to land, just due to its not immediate startup. It's kind of like what Sheik has when she jumps, only hers is immediate. It's a little bit like if you ever played Samus. Samus had a down and air move, which is one of her better aerial smash moves. It was, I used to call it like a spike move, because if you hit people as they were trying to recover back onto where you were, you would literally hit them below the platform, and there was nothing they could do because it just put them too far. There was too much knockback. In our circle of friends that we used to all get together and play with, it was kind of agreed that I was never allowed to use my main because it kind of stopped being fun then for people. Which, I suppose when you look back is kind of a compliment, but my main on Melee was Marth, and I used to have a lot of fun with him because I just thought he looked really cool. But I used to like playing everybody. Like I used to play Donkey Kong and pick people up just to try and jump off the edge with them, because it used to piss my friends off. And I was the dude who always had the fist charged, so every every moment you could potentially get that massive punch. Whoa, dude! And I'm quite excited to see what the Wii U version is, because it looks a little bit faster than Brawl and a little bit slower than Melee. And there's probably people wondering, you know, what did you do with Brawl? You haven't mentioned Brawl. Brawl's kind of a sad moment for me, because being a massive Smash Brothers fan, playing the first two games, you know, as much as you can when you're that age, which is far too much. Brawl came out, Aiden got it for the Wii. I didn't have a Wii at the time, he did, so, oh, there's a dude. So I went to his house when he got it, we got all excited, and one game later, yeah, we were done. You felt it immediately. It felt off. It felt wrong. It felt like a step backwards. It just didn't have the speed. It didn't have the... I just didn't like it. And we played it for a full day, and I've never played it since. Which is really sad, but I just thought it was a terrible game. What is that? Hang on here. The zip! Is it going to keep on getting bigger? Ah! Oh well, didn't even kill him. Sure for now. It's useless. Oh, it's going to bridge the bridge. Yes, I see. Tricky. Tricky stuff. But that's one of the reasons why I'm really happy I've got a Wii U. You know, a lot of people do the whole, there's nothing to play on the Wii U, it's a crappy console, it's a last gen console, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that, which I'm not going to argue with a lot of that because it's true. There's no point. I'm not the type of person who's just going to delude myself because I own it. But what I will say is the stuff I'm interested in on that console is enough fun for me to make it really worth having. And in a few days, I say a few days, it's so long. Why is it so long? I can't do this. The Bayonetta 2 comes out on the 24th. On the 22nd, fucking hell, Legend of Korra comes out, which I'm really excited for. I'm going to get that on the 360 for obvious reasons. It's kind of my console of choice. Also, Shadows of Mordor. Everybody's curious about Shadows of Mordor. I would love to cover it, guys. I just don't have a console it's on. I'm going to check out the PC version. If my PC version can handle it when I'm recording, I might try and do some footage from that. But it doesn't come out on the 360 till the 18th of November, and by then nobody's going to fucking care, which is horrendous. But what can we do? You know, if you've not got a next-gen console, you've not got a next-gen console. Jesus! Look at this again! An insanely high scaling staff with a terrible casting speed. This thing's gonna cast so damn slow. Staff of Azal, Sage of Ferosa, rather roughly crafted but imbued with the magic of Azal, greatly intensifies spells but also drastically reduces spell usage. This staff, unfit for the inexperienced, is evidence of Sage Azal's prowess. So that could be kind of like a tin catalyst, if it's going to increase your spell's intensities. It's just going to be tricky to use because it's going to be much slower, which I don't really use it because everything on this game seems to be so far. I don't really understand it, sorry, because everything on this game seems to move so fast when it comes to spells. But I think it's a step in the right direction. I think the spells probably shouldn't have just that amount of speed they do get. I'm going to walk back to a bonfire here. So I think slowing them down is a good idea, but they have to be powerful then. You know, they have to be really good, because if they're not, then people are going to feel like you're just cutting off their fingers. Because spells, like spells in Dark Souls, I felt were kind of broken, but that's what made them work. Because they did massive damage if they landed, they just never landed. Right, where do we need to go? What else do I need to check? I suppose it's probably time we did that. And I'm really not looking forward to this area. Because I already know what it's going to be like. It's going to be like what the DLC was before it was open. You couldn't see anything. Let's get some of that defense on. Yeah, breathing. Oh. But in 8 days, Evil Within comes out. That's going to be the next big project I do, and I'm real excited for that. Yeah, I don't like this already. Huh. Something? No. Like, look, you literally cannot see. Ah, there we go. The hell is that? Well, that's... Oh, that's a challenge circle. I wonder if you can summon things. So I'm really tempted to summon some dudes. Oh, she's got a chime. Oh, Vengal. Just what you want. One of the most retarded summons you can get. Yeah, I just don't like this. I love the idea. I do. There we go. There's another building as well. Question is, where are the fucking horses? Because last time I'd already got bummed by now. Which would be really interesting if they don't come if you can control it. Which would be way up my street, but I don't think that's how it works. Ah, here it comes. Oh wow, I can't break its poise. Oh shit, that hits from behind. You've got an AoE, son. Could have told me. Yeah, look how much it takes to kill that, and you can have two of them attacking you at the same time. This is really bad. Ooh. Question is, how is it governed? Is it timed? Is it steps? So this is the hat without the mask. Finally! That's a really good idea. I get fucking killed now. It was straightforward, wasn't it? But I daren't. I daren't move. So I don't want to get horsed. Sounds like... That was it! That noise signifies a spawn. Oh, that signifies a kick in the face and it fucking hurt. Wow, that thing lasts so long. I'm dead if he runs at me. That could have been a multi-hit then. If that would have been a multi... Okay. Yeah, I'm super not interested in this place at all. It could be really good though, but it would involve not having horses that seem to endlessly spawn.